this time of year, no one really thinks about that group of people that would love to have someone say, hey, let's go Black Friday shopping together. Good morning, my lovely beauties. How we doing? How we feeling? Happy Monday. It is Thanksgiving week, and I really wanted to get this video up sooner. I've actually vlogged it a couple of times and just felt like I didn't like it, so this time it's just gonna have to go however it comes across. So the title of this video might be a little bit confusing because what I'm going to talk about is something that I don't know that people really spend a lot of time thinking about. This time of year is the time of year when people do a lot of giving. Commercials are about giving. Everywhere you go, they're asking you to donate. Toys for Tots, shoes, buy a shoe, get a shoe, or give a shoe, or something like that. There's dinners being prepared for the elderly. There's all kinds of things that are happening this time of year in abundance, which I think is awesome. I think it's great. I do believe in giving. I do believe in, sharing what I have. If I have it to share, I'll share. I do want to bring your attention to several groups of people that, and I'm going to say several groups of people because a friend of mine the other night when I was talking to him on the phone kind of brought it to my attention, like putting people in groups, and I was like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense, because there's all these different sets of people out there that people don't really recognize because they don't fit the criteria of being a person in need. So this time of year, of course, you do hear people talk about like, yeah, well, people get more depressed during the summer holidays. And then you hear some people saying, people overspend the summer holidays because of depression. You hear a lot of things like that. But what you don't hear is as often, I'm not saying you don't ever hear, but you don't hear it as often, is people actually offering solutions. People actually offering something in retrospect to the loneliness. Now, I'm going to use the word loneliness throughout my video because I personally do not like the word depression. I feel that it titles everything and it just causes more backlash. It causes more feelings. I don't know. I just don't like the word. So that being said, you will hear me use the word lonely because I like to place myself in the category of lonely because I do not identify myself as becoming depressed during this time of year. But I will identify myself as being very lonely this time of year. Now, if you ask anybody that know me, they would probably say, there's no way she can be lonely. What do you mean? Like, this girl is like the most bubbly person, and she's always telling everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and this and this and that and Happy Thanksgiving, because that's what I do. But in my heart of hearts, I'm extremely lonely. So I'm admitting this for the first time ever, I think, out loud to anybody. I don't know that anybody know this. There might be one other person that I've ever admitted this to, but I don't talk about it. This time of year is very hard for me, so for several reasons. Okay, y'all, I decided to just give up on, I was trying to drive and vlog and things weren't happening. So I made it to school actually super early this morning, so I thought, you know what, I'll just go ahead and finish this out while I'm sitting here waiting to go to work. I fall in several of these categories that I'm going to talk about. Loneliness from lack of companionship, loneliness from having that family dynamic, loneliness from missing my parents. Like, I fall into a lot of these categories. First of all, I want to talk about, the first category that I want to talk about is the category in where, and I was saying category, I guess really groups of people. Not so much category, but groups of people. So the first group of people that I want to talk about are the people that have loved ones that are ill and they're caring for their loved ones. A wife caring for her husband, a husband caring for the wife, husband and wife caring for their children, a sick child. This category of people often gets overlooked. People don't realize that the amount of time that is spent day to day caring for someone sick, even though you love them tremendously, that group of people suffer a special kind of loneliness. They have a day-to-day loneliness because they lack activity, their normal activity with their friends and other family members, because they're required to be home caring for their sick loved ones. Their lifestyle completely changes when this happens. Again, I stress, it doesn't mean they love their family members any less. It's just a fact. It's us being honest. And sometimes they can even get angry with the surroundings because they're thinking, you know, if this person wasn't sick, I could be doing this. And what we do as this time of year, no one really thinks about that group of people that would love to have someone say, hey, let's go Black Friday shopping together, or hey, let's go do this, because a lot of times people see those people in their circumstances and they don't know how to respond to their circumstances. So they stay away. They don't think that maybe, you know, if I go over to their house and spend a couple of hours with them and say, hey, let's get online, we can look at stuff together, if the person can't leave the house. Or maybe the person can't leave the house for a little while, and maybe they could offer one of their family members to come and hang out at the house with the sick relative, while they take the caregiver out for a little bit. Like, people don't think about that's something that don't cost you money. It doesn't require anything but time. And then there's another group of people, the group of people that have lost family members, such as a husband, a wife, a father through death, children through death. These group of people, some of them are going to have their very first holidays without their family member. Now, this group of people, they fall in a very special category, because often people do think about them. They do say, oh, you know, this is your first Christmas without blah, blah. Or this is your first Thanksgiving without blah, blah. But when they mention it, a lot of times they mention it in passing. They mention it through a text message. They mention it on like the day of, like, Merry Christmas. You know, how are you dealing with being without your whatever? How many of those people actually come up to you and offer you time? Not very many, right? Then the next group of people that I want to talk about, and this group of people are the people that they have the moms and the dads, and they have their grown children whom they love very much, and have raised them to be independent, raised them to embrace life and grow up and be functioning adults. When this happens, however, and this, again, I can reiterate, this is mostly us moms that deal with this. When we have boys, our boys go away and they never come back. They come back briefly, but they don't ever come back. When they get married, they pretty much go. They flock, like I said, to their wives' families to be never seen again for the holidays, because their wives' families take precedence over your family for the holidays. Why is that so? What makes that a thing? Who is going to be the first person to say, you know what, let's stop this? I have a mom too, and I know my mom is lonely over there in her house without us coming over and saying, let's trim the tree together, Mom, or let's make cookies together, or whatever, you know, something from the past, like relive a special time that was shared between you and your family, not just always living through the special times that your wife shared with her family. There should be enough time for everybody, right? So this time of year, again, I'm going to say it, people get so lonely. The moms mostly, because we carry these children. We carry these children in our bellies for 9 months, and we go through hell getting them delivered. And so they are attached to us and will never be unattached. So we're affected differently. And then the ones that have the girls, you know, again, in the dating process, it's funny because girls run to those boys, and man, they hang out with those guys and they don't come back to mom. It's so weird how it is. When they get married, then they come back. But when they're dating, they run behind the boy. They are out there with that boy. Everywhere he goes, they're there. They're with him and his family. But and they don't tend to care about mom, and they don't tend to come back around to see how mom's doing. It's funny how all of these things come into play. So during the holidays, the moms of girls, they feel some type of a way. Why? Because the girls don't give them time. The next group of people I want to talk about are the group of people that, now this group of people is a very, very special group of people, because when I tell you all I fall into several categories, I fall into this category in various ways. This group of people are the group of people that are longing for that magical holiday. This group of people are the group of people that are missing. They have a loneliness in their heart. They're lacking that true sense of happiness from within their heart. They could be missing. They could be in a relationship that they don't feel is an ideal relationship for them, but they don't know how to get out of it. They can be recently divorced from someone, and they don't know how to cope the after fact. They could be in the process of a divorce and don't know how to cope with the process of the divorce. They could be in the midst of making a decision that is going to alter their lives forever, such as leaving a relationship, or, and this group of people, there are so many different angles. And some of you, when I speak of this particular group of people, some people will not ever understand or get this group of people. And this is the group of people that my friend and I were talking about, because he's going through something with, he's actually been separated. They have their divorce papers, they're drawn up, and they just haven't filed them yet. They sold their house. They he's actually been dating someone else, and I know a lot of people are going to have some comments about that. They don't even live in the same state anymore, and to each their own, okay? Because honestly, I really personally don't see any. If you've made that decision that you want to go your separate ways, or whatever, then if you all are doing your own separate things and you have an agreement about it and you have an understanding about it, I know about the covenant of marriage, y'all. Believe me, not everybody will have that type of marriage. So just face the fact that in this world that we live in, which is a very real world, people are just people, and everything won't be perfect. But anyway, I'm defending my friend because I know a whole bunch of people are having all kinds of thoughts when I said that. But there's that group of people that do things like this. They don't have that traditional breakup, or they're working on a breakup and it takes a long time, or they live together in a house but they live separately. These are real people. These are people that actually have lives, and they are people that function every day. You work with them, you go to church with them, you see them in the malls. These are real people, and these are things that affect their lives every day. Now, this group of people, they suffer a very unique type of loneliness, because some of these people, that the ones that have made these decisions in their head, or they're going through things within their own privateness, and they are dealing with trying to figure out how they're going to tell their significant other that they're not happy, or they're trying to force themselves to be happy because they think that that's what they're supposed to do, and for the sake of all sickness, that like they're like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, so hey, this is what I'm going to do. These people exist. These people at this time of year, it is so hard for them, because they have to go about life with this big smile on their face, and they have to pretend that they're happy, and that to all the people that are really in great relationships and loving relationships, they have to be like them in the sense of when these people are sharing their happy times, they have to kind of like perk up and be happy with them. These people, like I said, they're so hard to figure out, because most of the time you don't know it. But I promise you, if you look deep into their eyes or hear them from their heart when they speak, you will be able to know that something's not right. these people, again, something you can do for them that doesn't require money, just maybe take a little time and listen. Ask them how they're doing and just listen. Don't offer advice. Don't get into this whole, well, girl, you should have left him a long time ago. Girl, I don't know why you stay. Girl, God wouldn't have you doing stuff like that. You living in sin, girl. Don't do any of that. Just listen. Because first of all, you have no right to judge. And I can tell you from every aspect of my life, I have learned so much. And this is why I'm able to do the things that I do. This is why I say my videos will never be the norm, because I keep things very, very real. And I know when I left home at 18 years old, I married my high school sweetheart. We were in the military, y'all. I'm telling you, well, not me, but he was in the military. And when I tell y'all I met people from all walks of life, y'all, I did. I saw things that I thought were only on TV. I didn't know that all of these things in life really existed. I thought people made this up, made TV programs about it so that it would sell. You know what I mean? Like, I did not realize that people went through these things on a daily basis, that people survive things like this on a daily basis, that, you know, marriages break up like that, cheating happens every day. That people honestly can love more than one person and be stuck in a triangle that they don't know how to get out of. These things are real things. And whether we like it or not, it is the truth. It can happen. And we have to say, you know what? It is what it is. And we cannot judge. So when I talk about this group of people, I get very passionate because I experienced some of those things. I experienced, I never shared with my parents or anyone the abuse that I encountered for several years of my life. No one knew. My family, my mom and my dad went to heaven not knowing the abuse that I suffered because I did not want to burden anybody with it. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. And yes, I stayed. Yes, I still loved him anyway. Have I been cheated on? Sure have. Yes, I've stayed. Yes, I've loved him anyway. So when I tell you, that's why I'm so passionate about these things. Have I been in a relationship that I felt so broken and I felt like I really didn't love the person anymore, or I didn't know how to love the person anymore, and I wanted out and I didn't know how to get out? Yes, I have. Yep, it's me. I am being very real today. These are the things that impact a life to make a person lonely on a day-to-day living. But when it comes to the holidays, these things impact us even more, because for all of these groups of people, it is so hard to be alone this time of year, because all of these thoughts come to you. And then when you see all of these people out there and they're living in our minds these beautiful lives and they're getting on with their lives, and nobody takes the time to see how you're doing. So that's why I wanted to do this video. I just wanted to talk about giving time for this holiday, not spending a lot of money, not giving, and I'm not saying don't give to all the other organizations, because y'all, there are children out there that need Christmas, and I'm all for it. Give whatever your heart puts on you to give, but just don't forget the people that appear to be normal. And most of you know that they're going through things because you can hear them all throughout the year. You can see their ups and downs all throughout the year. You know that they have a loved one at home that's sick. You know they have a family member that recently passed away. You know that they're going through a divorce because you've been with them all year long. So why do you not think that this time of year they need a little bit of time from you? Give time for the holidays. When you hear this video, which I'm hoping it's going to be up this evening, today is Monday, I ask you, donate a little bit of time to someone that you know that needs it, however way they need it, whether it's need to listen, go to their house, have one of your family members sit with their family member while you can take them out for lunch or go shopping in the mall, whatever the situation is in need of, offer them that time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a Happy Thanksgiving. Carried on into a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as we approach this holiday season. Love you all, and thanks again for listening.